Hey, you're watching MicksGarage.com, and today we're looking at shock absorbers. More specifically, how do you tell if the shocks in your car are gone, or if they're worn or they're blown, and how do you choose the right ones for your car?
Shock absorbers are also known as suspension struts or dampers, and they're a critical safety item of your vehicle. They also make sure that the handling of your vehicle is correct, and also that the road and the tyre have a constant contact patch. Over time, the performance of your shock will decrease and eventually fail. This results in a harsh and bouncy ride. Your tyre tread wear will increase, and also the stopping distance of the vehicle will also increase. Overall, the handling of the vehicle will be terrible. Shocks come in all shapes and sizes. You can get twin tube, mono tube, oil filled, gas filled, front and rear, and even lefts and rights.
Telling when a shock absorber is worn can be quite tricky. Telling when it's blown can be a bit easier though. You should be able to feel a noticeable difference from the driver's seat of the car. When you go over the larger bumps in the road, you're going to hear all kinds of different noises, kind of vibrations that you wouldn't normally experience. But there are some visual signs that you can check to see if your shocks are on the way out. So a couple of things you can check easily, things like this, whether your dust covers are intact and in good shape. Sometimes if these are missing, they're going to let water and dirt in, and that can cause an issue. It makes them wear out more quickly. And also what you want to look for is dark kind of areas around the top of the shock here. That generally signifies that the shock's leaking, and if your shock is leaking, it's going to be an instant NCT or MOT fail. To illustrate the difference between a new and a worn out shock, we've got two side by side here. If Marty compresses the two together, you should be able to visibly see the difference in effort required to compress the two. So basically, the blown shock no longer has the resistance it needs and isn't controlling the damping movement of the suspension. So basically, the wheel can just bounce up and down on the road. Here at MicksGarage, we frequently get asked a bunch of questions over and over again, so we thought we'd take this opportunity to answer a few of them now. The first and the most frequently asked question is, can I replace just one shock absorber? And the answer is no, and Martin is here to tell you why.
This axis here represents shock performance, and this axis down here represents time. When we fitted brand new shocks up here, we can both see that they're at 100%. Over a 4-year period, we can also see now that one shock is around roughly 10% performance, while the other is above 25%. At this point here, the car goes in for its NCT or MOT, and it fails on one shock, the red one here. So what we do to save a few quid is replace only the one shock. What happens is this leaves us at 100% performance for our red shock, but our green shock is still at 25% performance. We have a massive imbalance here again, and the car fails its NCT or MOT once again.
So the next thing that we get asked a lot is, do I need to replace both shocks with the same brand?
Yes, we do. If you get two separate brands, there might be a slight performance difference in the two. Again, just leaving it with an imbalance, similar to what we had here when we had two worn shocks.
Very good. And what else are people asking us? People don't know whether they've got gas-filled or oil-filled shocks. Does it matter which ones they fit?
Again, yes, it is important. You must replace both shocks with either gas-filled or oil-filled. If you have one gas and one oil filled, again, it comes back to the imbalance. It's going to fail. It's going to fail again. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, the website lists shocks for cars with sports suspension and cars with standard suspension, and I don't know which my car has.
Well, as a general rule, cars like our GTI or an M Sport BMW will be fitted with sports suspension. You can check the attributes below the product to make sure that it is either going to be sports or standard suspension on your vehicle.
Right, now last question, and this is an interesting one that we get from time to time. Sometimes a customer orders a brand new shock from us and they get it out of the box, and the damping performance of the shock seems to be less than the one that is just taken out of the car. So what's going on there?
And basically, some shocks need to be primed before they are fitted. Basically, when the shocks are in transit, on their sides, the oil or gas inside them can move between the internal chambers. When the oil and gas are mixed in the working chamber, the dampening effect can be off. Priming the unit removes the gas from the working chamber and moves it back into the reservoir. But basically for fitting, and this goes for any type of shock, to prime the shock, simply push down the piston 3 to 4 times and it's all good for fitting then.
Cool. Alright, that's pretty much it for today, folks. If you've got any questions about shock absorbers or anything else for that matter, you can leave a comment below. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. We've always got really cool competitions going on, and you can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Thank you for watching.